Good evening and thanks for joining us on tonight's installment of the news on Canal International, as always broadcasting from our production hub in Douala. Up next, Gladys Ambon Dibang with the headlines.
The killing of 5 youths in Mamben Quarter, Pining village in the northwest region of Cameroon has left the community in shock and confusion, with conflicting theories about who is responsible, while some blame defense forces for executing suspected separatists. Others believe the killings were a brutal act of revenge by separatist fighters following a week-old mob justice incident. Meanwhile, survivors of the massacre remain in hiding, deepening the tension in the region. Abel Ilimbi Lobe, already embroiled in controversy for calling Cameroon's independence hero Ernest Wandi a bandit, now faces even more scrutiny after making unsubstantiated claims that his wife was attacked by unknown assailants at his office. While the allegations remain unproven, they have sparked a new wave of public outrage, adding to the firestorm of backlash against Lobe's earlier remarks. Victoria United's communication team has vehemently denied shocking claims circulating on social media that goalkeeper Jomini Eric Parfait was kidnapped and tortured by club president Valentine Quine, while investigations have found no evidence of match-fixing allegations of brutal treatment, and the model's desperate search for her son are intensifying public outrage and raising serious questions about the club's practices. That was a summary of our top stories. Stay tuned for details coming your way in a jiffy.
Thanks once again for your company, and we'll begin tonight's edition from Santa in the northwest region of Cameroon, where the circumstances surrounding the supposed killing of 5 young men remain murky and unclear. The victims were discovered soaked in their own blood and with bullet wounds near Pinion village at the weekend. Some observers are now suggesting they might have been separatist fighters gunned down by defense and security forces to avenge 2 of their comrades in arms who were killed in the same area a week earlier. Our Northwest Regional Correspondent Annie Collins says only an in-depth probe will reveal the identity of the perpetrators and their motives. And let's come back to this hot news across Cameroon. A Limbi Lobe, leader of the little-known and obscure group called Kowtow, has a huge outrage on his head following his derogatory statements in the direction of one of Cameroon's independence fighters, Ernest Wandi. He called him a bandit on TV at the weekend. Now, as the condemnations continue pouring in, Elimbi Lobe earlier today published a post online in which he claimed that several unidentified men attacked his wife and are promising to come for him in his home. Here's Ndi Maureen.
In a message posted online earlier today, Abel Elimbi Lobe declares without any proof that Tongs came to his office, attacked his wife, and promised to go to his house too. In fact, since Sunday, Abel Elimbi Lobe, who passes for the leader of the obscure and so-called Kowtow movement, has been at the center of attention after he referred to Ernest Wandi, one of the heroes of Cameroon's independence struggle, as a bandit during a weekend debate TV program. For memory's sake, it is worth recalling that Ernest Wande was a fervent UPC nationalist who fought for independence from French colonial rule. He was killed in 1971, and his legacy as a nationalist leader continues to be celebrated in the country till date. And so, logically, Elimbi Lobe's declaration sparked numerous reactions and has continued to inspire vehement condemnations, currently spreading like bushfire, both on and offline. From musicians and footballers through human rights defenders and scholars to politicians and political parties, Elimbi Lobe bashing is creating huge waves. In fact, some political parties have even threatened legal action against him and the television channel that provided him the platform in the first place. But what continues surprising many is a deafening silence on the parts of the authorities, including the Ministry of Territorial Administration and its local tentacles, which has been preaching against hate speech all these years. Elsewhere is the National Communication Council, which has curiously kept quiet despite the fact that Lobe's pronouncement was made on a non-television debate program. And so it is in this context that the unsubstantiated claims of an assault on Elimbi Lobe's wife occurred. He says he has alerted his tribesmen and the government on the threats to his family, but observers say they need to see concrete proof to believe him.
Let's now take you over to the capital, Yaoundé, where Bureau Chief Beatrice Ngamo reports that the streets are increasingly dangerous due to deep open drains. In fact, in a recent incident, a visually impaired woman actually ended up in hospital with severe injuries. Here's her account.
The white open mouths, these sewer drains, are permanent threats in Yaoundé. Over a year ago, Cecile narrowly escaped death after being swallowed by one of the holes. I was walking and found myself descending and felt body at the bottom of a hole. I was in the company of a woman who was confused. I heard the lady shouting, "Help, help, a lady has fallen in the hole." She was rescued, though she suffered a fractured leg and several months of hospitalization. The said sewer drain down the central primary school, not far from the post office, is solidly buried, deep and frightening. Below are concrete, iron-like ladder. I don't know the depth, but it was really deep. Less than 1 kilometer we found at least 3 sewer drains without covers. In this poorly lit area, a little further, we met another victim, Hubert, a journalist by profession. He showed no signs of accidents when sitting, but once standing, the impact is evident. He was on road boarding a cab when his story changed. Advancing, it was opened before me, but I was not aware. That is how I found myself inside. As I fell, I realized my left leg was numb. People rushed to my aid. After 3 months of treatment, he had to use crutches. These open sewer drains all over the capital city, the cause of numerous accidents. If you come walking and fell inside, you die or fracture leg. Someone like me, what will I do? The latest victim is a visually impaired young lady who, in addition to her existing disability, may end up on wheelchair due to her spinal cord injury.
And this year, too, close to 605,000 primary school pupils will be sitting for examinations organized by the Ministry of Basic Education. And to ensure a smooth process, a 5-day consultation workshop is ongoing in Yaoundé, bringing together stakeholders to align key recommendations. Once again, Beatrice Ngamo.
Sessions of official examinations organized by the Ministry of Basic Education will begin with the written part of the common entrance next May 13. Then the fresh school living certificates and the Certificat d'études primaires (CEP), which starts with practicals May 6, sports and physical education May 7 to 9, the written part on June 10 to 11, and orals on June 11. Some 604,880 primary school pupils will be sitting the exams. To ensure a smooth conduct, therefore, the stakeholders involved are meeting in a 5-day consultation workshop.
To make sure that all those who are involved know exactly what each person is doing at any point. Secondly, to ensure that the examinations are set and the scripts are secured and ready to be delivered to the examination centers. To ensure that exams are discussed at this workshop and adopted so that nothing is going to stall the process of our examinations.
Occasion to also wipe out the dysfunctional aspects of the 2024 exams before the 2025 sessions.
For us, their exams and get certified for the exams that they take.
It is for this reason that the Secretary of State at the Ministry of Basic Education, Asheri Kilo Fofung, lauded the actors to uphold discipline and objectivity during the session.
Now, if then this should be of concern to you. Ramadan 2025 is fast approaching, and scholars warn that delaying repayment.
Fasting during Ramadan is one of Islam's core pillars, but not everyone can complete the full month without interruption. Those who miss fasting days are required to make them up before the next Ramadan. However, repaying these fasts outside the holy month often feels more challenging, as fasting alone lacks the communal spirit and shared rituals of Ramadan.
2 months after the fasting, I pay the fasting one day after.
C'est un peu compliqué. Tu vas venir, tu vas voir les gens qui vont manger, boire et tout, c'est contraignant, mais bon.
Islamic scholars stress that delaying repayment without a valid reason can carry spiritual consequences.
First of all, it is a sin to behave like that, because if somebody spent more than 11 months and he did not fast what he has to fast before, it is something like he's playing with his religion, because normally he had more than 11 months to fast. Even one day per month, he has been able maybe to finalize if it is 7 days or something like that.
Yet, Islam also offers alternatives for those unable to fast due to ongoing health issues. A person in this situation can pay fidya, a form of compensation that involves feeding the needy in place of fasting.
They can just feed daily a poor for 1 month. It's better for them. But for those who are not feeling well, they can postpone even after this Ramadan. They fast this Ramadan, and after the month of Ramadan, they will fast again when they will be free, like Monday and Thursday.
With Ramadan drawing near, many Muslims are now feeling the weight of this responsibility, ensuring they fulfill their religious duty before the next month of fasting begins.
It's running close to 30 minutes after 6 p.m. Cameroon time. You're watching the news on Canal International, of course, broadcasting live from Douala. Now, let's shift attention to the parking business, which is witnessing a big boom across Cameroon's commercial hub, Douala, and especially so at night. Sharifa Saleh once again reports that despite the steady growth of the sector, challenges exist, and they include security and limited spaces.
In Douala, parking spaces are an essential part of the city's transport system, operating daily from 5 p.m. to 9 a.m. These lots provide a source of income for many, with revenues fluctuating depending on the day. However, the activity comes with its own set of challenges.
La sécurité n'est vraiment pas à 100%.
Ça dérange, la moto se tombe, tu te perds où ça casse le code.
Security remains a major concern, prompting operators to implement various precautionary measures. Despite these efforts, incidents in some parking areas have discouraged users from using them. Beyond security, space constraints are another pressing issue. As demand for parking continues to rise, the availability of suitable locations becomes a growing challenge. Despite these obstacles, the sector continues to thrive, reflecting both the opportunities and limitations of urban parking management in Douala.
Now let's head over to the Northwest region and specifically to Akum village, where the people turned out in their thousands to bear witness to the coronation of their new king as he received his full traditional powers. And without delay, Eugene Ngwasi immediately appointed 23 individuals to assist him in managing the affairs of the village. Here's Annie Collins Annie, and once again, Seri Fasali.
The new ruler of Akum village in Mesam division of the Northwest region has been given his full traditional attributes. In a recent ceremony at the royal palace, Chi Eugene Ngwasi I received the traditional items and was placed on the royal stool by one of the kingmakers amid thunderous applause.
The Akum people are witnesses to everything that he has accepted to do. They say, should we give you this baton? He says yes. And when he takes the baton, should I use this baton to command you? The Akum people say yes. When they give him the seat, he asks the Akum people, should I sit? They say yes. Should I sit on the throne? He answered at least 3 times. Then they give him the spear. Should I use this spear to command? They say yes.
After publicly accepting to rule the Akum people, the 49-year-old senior commissioner of police proceeded to announce a 23-man cabinet to assist him.
Leadership is an institution, and as a traditional institution, there are equally members of the cabinet. As you saw them, each and every one has its own function. But the difference this time around is that we had some innovations like building a secretariat for the palace with somebody in charge who is a prince of the palace who takes care of all the paperwork of the palace.
The traditional ceremony ended with individuals and groups pledging their allegiance to the new fund, including Christian religious leaders who conducted an ecumenical service earlier in the morning.
We are to support the fund in this vision to accomplish everything that has been, first of all, put in place, and secondly, to give the means to achieve goals.
The last of such ceremony took place 66 years ago when the late Judge Ngwasi Ndikum was taken over.
And in sports, Victoria United, that's a Limbe-based club, has been refuting claims that its goalkeeper, Germany Parfait Eric, was abducted and tortured by the club president, Valentine Quine. Reports circulating on social media, however, alleged that Germany was actually kidnapped. For 3 days, he was held captive and tortured by the president for alleged match-fixing charges. Cynthia Latte reports.
In a press release issued earlier today, Victoria United's communication team has denied claims circulated on social media that goalkeeper Jomeni Eric Parfait was kidnapped and tortured by the club president Valentine Quine. The report alleged that Parfait, accused of match fixing, was held in captivity by Quine for over 72 hours. Meantime, despite the initial accusations, investigations have revealed no evidence of match fixing by the goalkeeper. However, sources claim Quine subjected Parfait to brutal treatment to force a confession. The situation apparently escalated when Parfait's mother visited Quine's office in Limbe, hoping to see her son. She said she was shocked to see him crying from a room, and when she tried to approach, security forced her out. She has vowed to keep seeking justice. My son is being manipulated to say what suits them, I'm sure. They want to preserve the image of their club. My son was in tears yesterday when I called. Spoke in our mother tongue so that those people wouldn't hear him. I asked who is beating him, and he said it was the president of Victoria United. While match-fixing allegations are common in African football, this case has raised serious concerns. Public outrage is growing, with many demanding the immediate release of Parfait and accountability for those responsible. Authorities and the Cameroonian Football Federation, FECAFOOT, have yet to issue an official response, and the next few days will be crucial for the players' future and the handling of the situation.
Fervent gratitude from the entire production crew for spending time in our company. Up next is the debrief with Lil Peugeot. 1950, Michael Chipkio takes over with more news in French. Have a great evening.